We're back on a Friday, but this time we're here with the Heavy Metal Titans.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome. We have Chris and we have Renzo. Of course, Steven's here as well. Welcome to Kicking Old School on Friday. And today we're going to be talking about some heavy... Wait, I can do this here. Hold on. I can do this over here.
Heavy Metal Titans.
There you go.
Wow.
That's what it
That's
needed,
awesome.
not that auto-tune crap.
Guys,
are you
welcome. Welcome.
Hey,
Thanks
what's
for
up?
having us. Super excited to be here.
So,
Yeah, definitely.
you guys have been talking about this game for quite some time. I know it's going to be on Steam. Originally, we were talking about the iiRcade, but I think right now it's going to be on Steam first. Why don't you tell us a little bit about, first of all, what Heavy Metal Titans is, when it's going to be available, and how it started?
Okay, I can talk about how it started. So I was taking my game programming and development bachelor's degree, and I had started it like my last year. And from there, I kind of wanted to keep going with it. And then I met up with Chris, and he had a bunch of great ideas. Eventually, we ended up partnering together, and ideas just started flying off from left and right. And yeah, Chris, if you want to take it from there.
Yeah, it was super awesome. The beginning. So Renzo had been working on it for a little while. And then with iiRcade, we kind of got to know each other through that community. And we had done some promotional videos for iiRcade. And I was this cowboy, and it was really silly at first. And then Renzo was looking for some characters. And somebody mentioned, I think it was John mentioned, what about Billy Wrangle? That was my name in those videos. And so Renzo was like, hey, would you want to be in a video game? I was like, are you kidding? So it just kind of went from there. And then, we bounced some ideas back and forth. And he was like, well, why don't you just join the team? So it's been really, really cool to have somebody like him because I can't do the coding and programming and stuff. My brain doesn't work that way. So if I can come up with an idea and say, hey, man, what about this? And then he not only brings it to life, but like makes it even cooler. it's been a really cool journey. It's been about 2 years now, and we're super excited with the end result. Like you said, it'll be on Steam. It'll be landing. Well, the Steam page is up, so you can check us out on the Steam page currently.
I actually can bring that up here real quick. You keep talking. I'll bring that up here.
Cool. And then it'll actually launch on the 15th. So in just a few days. And then we'll be releasing to iiRcade and some other platforms. It all started with iiRcade, so we're throwing in a lot of cool iiRcade Easter eggs to make it kind of a unique game in itself for that platform as well. So that's what we're working on still now. And but we're just super excited that the day has finally come and it's launched, and hopefully lots of people get to enjoy it.
Yeah, only 12 days away. 12 days away.
12 days. It's pretty crazy. I think Renzo,
right?
like the last 6 months, we said it's going to launch probably next week.
Yeah.
That was like 6 months.
Next month.
You guys are getting close to the end there, it seems like.
It is. It's been really cool. So we've involved so many community members in the game. And then, of course, we needed a villain, and we thought, well, who's the most vile, just despicable person that we know that could play this arch enemy, this villain? And, of course, Glenn comes to mind. So, Glenn, what do you think?
He does have that effect on people. I must
That's
admit.
right.
I can't believe how long this has been going on. I mean, to be honest, I never programmed. I did. I programmed in BASIC, but was there more challenges that you even realized in making this game? I mean, you started up saying, I'm going to make this game, right? But then you have to start making the game. What kind of challenges were you guys having? Other than working with some schmo like me, what are the challenges were you guys having?
There's been lots of technical challenges. For instance, when we were getting ready for iiRcade with the Android system, having to scale back the graphics to a degree that didn't take away from the overall look and feel of the game. And we've run into bugs left and right. I mean, we had our own tracker for bugs on Trello that we would just go through. I think there was one month where it was just bugs. We were just fixing bugs. We track them all. Half the battle is just knowing about the bug, and then the other part is actually sometimes it's harder to know about the bug than to fix the bug, really. Just knowing where it's at and what causes it. So lots of little things like that.
And you have to play the game and play the game and play.
Yeah.
Then you fix that bug. Then you got to play it again and see if that bug didn't introduce another bug.
Yeah, exactly. Like a lot of software engineering guys, they use test-driven development where they automate tests, but in Unreal Engine, we did not automate them, so we play it a lot.
We've got a few thousand hours in this game, and actually, it's kind of another thing that worked out with our partnership, because growing up, I was kind of the weird one that kind of looked for bugs and like, what can I do that maybe the programmer didn't want you to be able to do? So like, I don't know, like Mario, there were little things I kind of figured out that really weren't supposed to happen. And Sonic, I was just messing around one day with Sonic with like just different codes and combinations, and opened the test portal or whatever for the game. And so those kind of little weird things actually came in handy, when you actually start making a game and see where those little critters are hiding.
When you want to find some random stuff, just hand the controller to your wife, and she'll be like pressing buttons and stuff. Be like, so what did you do? I don't know. Like, oh, okay.
I've seen that before.
Well, that's
where you give it to a child or somebody else, and just they break it, and you're like, okay, what happened?
Back in the original Atari
camera.
2600, I mean, there wasn't really bugs. You just take the power switch. You would flick that power switch to glitch it. So there's bugs and there's glitches. But you would try, like Space Invaders, I remember, if you glitch it just right, you could shoot 2 shots instead of just the 1 shot. So you'd always try and glitch it. Then you go and beat your friend because you were shooting 2 bullets. They were shooting 1. But I assume that is probably the most challenging part, really. It's not even so much coding the game and the idea. It's that final 5%, the polishing.
Yeah.
Is that
the polishing? Right? We spent a long time polishing. I mean, probably, a year?
It's been a year-long polishing. It's another kind of challenging area is finding that sweet spot for the difficulty of the game. So you want to have a game that's challenging, but still fun, but not frustrating.
Rage quit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We don't want rage quitters, but if they do rage quit, we want them to still come back and try again, So it's really...
Is it Cuphead hard?
Yeah. Oh, that's tough.
No, is your game Cuphead hard?
Oh, no.
Okay, good.
No,
Cuphead is relentless.
Yeah. No. We're we're kind of in the NES to Sega difficulty, to where you want to, it's challenging. You've got to put in some time. But we kind of dangle some carrots too. There's some unlockables in the game. It's kind of got a platformer RPG kind of aspect to it as well, to try to keep people coming back for more and searching throughout. There's all kinds of secret areas and
right. That's what I was going to say that you guys planted a lot of little secrets, Easter eggs, places to explore. Kind of like the Mario.
Yeah.
Mario's at the main game, and you play that, then you go back to find all the little secrets.
Yep,
Right.
exactly.
Like the first person who finds Glenn in his birthday suit is going to win one of these T-shirts. Chris has got some T-shirts here. We're going to be giving away. You find me in my birthday suit, you get a T-shirt.
You get a shirt.
I got a question that probably
if we
everybody.
find Glenn in his birthday suit, we're going to put the shirt on him.
I probably got a question that probably our gang in the chat are going to ask. Which platforms are, let's say, like Steam for now, obviously, and iiRcade. But is there plans for Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, that kind of thing? Or you're playing it by ear, or what are you doing?
So right now we're in talks with Polycade and iiRcade. We've tested our application on both those systems, pretty actively. We have talked about other platforms. Chris, if you'd like to take the stand on that one.
So we're kind of looking at the Switch, especially. We'll kind of start into that these next couple of weeks, looking at the other platforms and what it might take to work with them. And we want as many people as possible to have a chance to play the game and get to know all these characters, because really, most of the characters in the game are actual real people, and so that's just another part of it too, that it's going to be super cool to actually put it in these people's hands that are in the game, and or did the voices, or for them to actually get to play as themselves or defeat themselves or whatever. But it's really cool. You can kind of see back here. I can't really point, but that right there, that's kind of our logo and some of the people that are in it. Warhorse, who's a pro wrestler. He's been in AEW. Had a couple stints there. He's a playable character, and he's a wild man. He's hilarious. I actually stopped in at his gym and got hung out with him for a day and got the sound bites from him and did some video work for the trailer and stuff like that. And Tim Kitzrow, who's the voice of NBA Jam, he went all out. He's an awesome guy. And I sent him just this list of things. I was like, hey, if you don't mind, if you could do these. And he just went to town, and he went off on his own tangents, and he's hilarious. And so some of the lines you hear from him are they'll make you laugh. There's a guy, his name's Leigh McClendon. He goes by Leigh McNasty. You probably have seen him. You may not recognize his name, but once you see him on a TikTok or online, oh, that's that guy. He's in the game, and he hands out magic juice, and he's got these hilarious lines throughout the game as well. So it should be pretty entertaining. There's lots of blood and guts, but lots of laughs too.
Well, I tell you what, we've been talking about it. We should show the trailer. You guys have a new little trailer. Let's show everyone the trailers. You guys get a little idea of what we're talking about with. Hold on.
Heavy Metal Titans!
That's awesome.
Woke up this morning, something just wasn't right. You know that feeling you get in your gut? Makes you wonder if you're gonna see tomorrow? Yeah, they're coming for us. That ain't nothing new. What are we gonna do about it? We're about to light up those critters.
Take this, man. You're gonna need it. Bring it to boom boom!
The Slayer's always ready.
That Phoenix is literally on fire! The Slayer's in trouble! Fight on, Princess! Yeehaw! Where's Shotgun Sean when you need him?
When I graduate kindergarten, I'ma quit eating my boogers. Here, my uncle says Magic Juicy gives you an extra special attack. Magic Juicy makes me fart like my nana.
The vampire's about to get dusted! Come on, Colin!
War Horse!
Welcome to the slaughter!
Rain down fire!
Grenades go kaboom!
Heavy Metal Titans!
Yep, it's gonna be a good day.
Oh, by the way, you're about to die. Burn him down, Smokey.
I love my dragon. He's awesome. I got my time gem right here, fellas.
Oh, nice.
I'm here. And I'll show you later how this little thing enlightened my life and made Heavy Metal Titans the game it's going to be. But thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate you guys coming on the show. It's awesome. And the game's going to be available soon on Steam. So, fantastic work, guys.
I had no idea the real General Glenn was going to be here. Like, I'm seriously shaking.
And so you should be, my friend. And so you should. I tell you what. I was just waiting to come out. I was just waiting. But now we showed the trailer. Now, why don't we see how I became the general and the mastermind behind Heavy Metal Titans? Let's take a look at how that happened right now.
It was a day like any other. In fact, the day itself was beautiful. One of the nicest days I could remember. Blue and I were just going about our business, trying to enjoy the day. A fresh start. One of those days where you just go outside and go, something's going to be different. Something's going to be better. But you know, no man ever knows his true destiny. No man ever knows how things can change in an instant. And on this day, I was going to be changed forever. Destiny had a plan for me. What is that? What is this? Feels almost alive.
Heavy Metal Titans!
beautiful. This time gem is the most beautiful thing. It just freed me, fellas. It just freed me to take over the world.
Hell yeah.
That was amazing. That's how it all started. And who knew that it would give you that berry white tone as well? I mean, that's pretty amazing.
I'm speechless.
That's where it all started. So that was the beginning of the end, really for humanity. Unless all you out there take a hold of that controller and take out the general.
That's right. It's up to all of you out there to get the game and try and defeat me. Good luck with that, with my dragon. He's awesome, by the way. So seriously, I'm going to take over the world shortly, but in the meantime, you still have some control here. I mean, how hard was it to really do all this? I mean, it's really primarily you two behind the scenes of this, right? And Renzo, you were doing most of the coding, so as much as I thank you, I mean, was this more than you really thought you could do, and are you happy with the end result?
Yeah, I'm happy. How about you, Chris?
Absolutely. I wasn't ready for the voice, so I'm trying to just catch up now. But yes, it was a pretty awesome journey. It was a really difficult, journey, but worth every minute of it. And had a great time, making the game, and we'll have even more fun, getting to see people play it.
It's just a lot of late nights, one late at a time.
That's what
And
I
or
was going to
weekends.
ask. Was this like a full-time thing for you, or do you actually have other work? This was kind of done with the spare time, taken away from the family, the friends, and the people who are going to be dying shortly?
Yeah, my family, they let me know, like, hey, you need to start like hanging out with us a little bit. I was like, all right. So the last few months, I tamed off. Now that we're finishing up with the game.
Well, Simon just
but
made a question here, saying about how it should somehow be a packed game for the Build-A-Cade. Now, I know Glenn was talking to you a little bit about possibly making this for the Build-A-Cade, so stay tuned on that. You never know. Maybe we'll show up on the Build-A-Cade.
Yeah, that wouldn't be that hard, because I mean, Android's Android, right?
And how cool would that be to bring two worlds together like that? I mean, it's an amazing product. To see our game on something like that would be super cool.
Glenn's a bit of an idiot. I don't know if it's a great thing like that.
Okay,
but whatever. I mean, people think of what they think of him. I think he's a schmo. In any case. Now, Steven, don't you have any questions? You're just sitting there looking pretty. Do I got to do all the questions?
I'm just scared of you there with the deep voice. I don't know. Bring back Glenn or whatever. I don't know.
As long
I'm
as
shocked.
this bad boy's here, Glenn will not be back.
Sure. I had my questions earlier, but okay. So I'm going to ask a question, and I'm not gonna. I don't want this to come out wrong, but is it the intent to have it look like a B movie in a sense, the game, and you know what I'm saying, like have it that vibe of a B movie? You know what I mean? Like,
yes,
I don't want it to sound like, oh, you guys stuff sucks because it looks like a B movie, but it's got that vibe that's pretty clear.
Yeah,
and especially Glenn's transformation B movie that we just witnessed. I thought that was but
it's just
but is that the intent of the overall vibe of it?
Yeah. So we don't.
Okay, good.
We certainly don't take ourselves too seriously. If anybody's going to laugh at us, it's going to be us first. So just to kind of go along with the story, the time crystal is something that Glenn found, and it allows him to jump through time and alter reality. So, and here's where it gets, you can see we don't take ourselves too seriously. The gods of Olympus bestowed a ultimate weapon, which is actually a broom. It's Prentice's broom, to unite us, and we're each hero is plucked from their own timeline, which also will end up being the environments that the people play in. So, like my guy Billy Wrangle, the outlaw, is from the Wild West, and there's a Wild West world. So that we in each world, there's a boss that holds a fake crystal. So we're going to find the real one that Mr. Glenn's got right there. So that will end up setting up the final battle, with him.
Or is it the real one?
Or is it?
Sequel time.
Right. So this is episode 1. We've got episode 2 that'll be coming out at a later time. So the story starts, and you'll have a chance to see. There's a backstory written for each of the characters. So some people are into the story side of it, and they like to see the backstories. We actually were inspired by Golden Axe from that. Renzo and I, that's one of our favorite games. So we wrote backstories for all the heroes, but also for some of the villains, and then especially Glenn, so you can read about his past and his future at that.
Real quick, there was a question that came up here from Simon. He's saying it is coming out first on Steam, but it will still be coming out on the iiRcade. It's just getting released on Steam first. So don't worry. I'll be able to kill you just as easily in that game as this one. Don't you worry.
Yeah, we're still working with that.
Does the Konami code work?
We're putting so much extra goodness into the iiRcade version because that's kind of where we all started. That's our original family, and we love Jong and stuff. So we're putting extra stuff into that, and which is taking a little bit of extra time. So yes, we'll be able to defeat Glenn on many platforms.
So you think?
Easier said than done.
So there's some unlockables, like we said, kind of expand gameplay, get you to come back. There are 3 hostages hidden on each board, each level. So if you find all the hostages in the game, that'll unlock a character. And then there's an arcade machine hidden on each world or each level. And if you find all those, that'll unlock another character. So kind of just extra gameplay, to bring players back.
Real quick here, got another chat here from Bill. He's just asking me if the II control deck will still come out or it's been scrapped. Well, again, Glenn would probably know better than I would, but I know he's a cheap little mother, so I'm sure it's still going to come out just fine. He's just waiting for Zhang and people at iiRcade to give him the little girly thumbs up. Yeah. But I'm sure it's still going to be coming out. Don't you worry, it'll be there. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Please continue.
You're so polite.
Well, because I'm basically destroyed 99% of humanity, so I could be nice for a couple more minutes because you're all going to die anyway.
We appreciate that.
So who do we got in the chat here? Yeah, there's a lot of people excited for the game in the chat, it seems like, which is cool.
That's awesome.
12 days. Don't gotta wait for Armageddon. Just 12 more days, and you can start playing it and watch them easily. Me and my dragon just wipe you guys to the floor. It's gonna be hysterical.
Chris, you wanna tell them about your bringing the game into your classroom?
Yeah. Oh, it's super awesome.
These
so
are
I teach
right? Preschool.
Yeah. I teach 5th grade, so it was the end of the year. Last week was the last week of school, so I brought the game in. They've been talking about it all year, and I've been, they've been asking about it. So I brought it in to let them play it, and of course they enjoyed it. They, it was awesome for them to see their teacher in the game and all that kind of stuff. But the quote of the day that day, one of the kids came out and he was just like, "That game is better than GTA." I was like, "I'll take it, buddy."
And then this is a 5th grader that said that?
Oh, yeah. And
he's allowed to play GTA. Wow, okay.
Yeah, I know, right?
Mom
but he definitely knew what he was talking about. So that's the first review that we've had of the game. So we'll just go with that.
5th grader approved.
That's right.
I know this game was kind of built on, games you guys played growing up. So what were the systems you played when you were growing up? I mean, was it Nintendo, Sega, Odyssey, or Atari like myself? Steven was playing. Oh, we were playing Canada up there. Jax, what do you do up there?
ColecoVision.
ColecoVision, okay.
Leisure Vision.
My first was Texas
Chris,
Instrument.
what was yours? A fellow TI-994A. All right, I'll let you live. How about you, Chris?
Same here. I started out on the TI-99. Love me some Munchman and Parsec, and so we actually, we were inspired by several different games, different systems that, we loved growing up. And most of the games are similar for both of us. But yeah, I had the TI-99, Atari and Television, NES, Sega, and then on up. But you'll see a lot of kind of mirroring, or I guess a tip of the hat to a lot of our favorite games in Titans.
So Chris, I'm going to ask you first, then Renzo, you next. What is your all-time, right now, what's your all-time favorite console? And it doesn't have to be just the most powerful one. just the one you have the most nostalgia for, the one you think most fondly of?
Yeah, the first one that comes to mind is the Genesis, the Sega Genesis. That's like, I mean, I loved the NES. That kind of started it all. But as soon as the Genesis came around, I really can't even explain, what the draw was, but I just loved it. And that's all I could think about. And, I was at basketball practice still thinking about in Golden Axe, what if I did this or that? I just loved it. And maybe the graphics, it was kind of jump up, a step at least to the side, of what Nintendo was doing. And so that was it for me, the Genesis.
That's a tough question. I mean, I grew up playing Sega Genesis like, Chris, but, I had N64, plenty of hours on PS1. But one that I did not have that I think is the coolest is the Neo Geo. Like, I would love to have a Neo Geo console.
You had to be rich for that one.
Yeah, I know. It's like all the rich kids had it. So
yeah, I didn't know anybody that had it.
No, me neither.
I saw it on a store shelf and it didn't move a month later. So
some people couldn't afford the console, but a 200 to 300,000 game, that's where it became a problem. But it was, you're playing the arcade game, but no one had that kind of money back then. Not if you were a kid. Really?
Yeah, and the arcade, the games that were like the arcade weren't amazing. There weren't terrible ones, but they weren't like the Sonics and the Marios and all that stuff. They were just, Fists of Fury, and then you show that to a kid, they had no idea what the hell that was. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
There was no commercials on TV or anything, so that's pretty cool. So it's, but you did get the guy's voice that did NBA Jam's voice, like the guy in the credits. So I'm sure that influenced you as far
Talk a
as
bit more about the characters and the other people who helped with the game. I mean, you got Boom Shakalaka, he's in there giving his voice.
Not just the famous people,
No,
oh yeah.
Please.
So you'll hear Tim Kitzrow all throughout. He's hilarious. He was just amazing. Leigh McNasty, who we were talking about, he was the guy on the video that said, "When I quit eating my boogers, I'm gonna," or that guy. And he's hilarious too. Warhorse, like we mentioned, the four that you see on the kind of the logo screen that come in, that's Warhorse and me on one side, and Prentice. A lot of people know him from the community, and he's the one with the room. He's a dragon slayer ninja, and then Colin is the vampire. You'll know him from the iiRcade community. And then we have others as well, some characters that Renzo made, who are voiced by some people in the community. Cynthia Lott, you'll know Cynthia, Jean and Cynthia, you always hear them together, but she did the voice for herself, or Cynthia. And that just makes me think there's just so much talent in the community, because we started thinking, well, let's get, anybody that we can, just awesome people that we've gotten to know. But there's so many talented people, just like artists, singers. You might not know Shotgun Sean, sounds just like Johnny Cash. But Cynthia is a really awesome author, and she's got a book out. It's called The Feathers. Check it out. It's really cool on Amazon. C. Derek Miller is in it. He's an amazing author. Check him out on Amazon as well. He's going to do some writing for us for maybe for one of our future games. Al Evseman, I've seen him on this show, in the chat as well. He's an amazing artist, and we've talked to him about getting some of his art in episode 2. So just lots and lots of people and lots of talent in this community.
I think last time I counted how many shout outs and voices / drawings of our characters that we have in the game. I think it was around 30.
It was 40.
40. Yeah.
So, and we'll be doing even more for episode 2. So we're looking at doing moving on to another project after this, and then coming back for episode 2, and so you'll see even more faces that you recognize as well. And Glenn will be back.
Of course I will. Now, with that being said, the amount of time since 2 years, pretty much from the brainchild to almost 12th, so it's coming close. Do you think that the next release would go a little quicker because you guys kind of know a little bit more than you didn't know before, and it'll speed up that process?
Yeah. So we built the framework. The framework took a good chunk of that time. And it was actually about 2.5 years. But I think it would be a bit quicker. All the levels are actually made. It's just stitching everything together and making sure it looks pretty, you know.
Yep.
So I don't know. It might be a lot faster.
So which version of Unreal are you guys using? 4 or 5?
So I started with 4.26, moved over 4.27 later on, but I never did switch over to Unreal 5, just because it would have set back some of the assets were, you know, coming in.
I just saw some trailers a few months back, and it's unbelievable what they're doing with that technology, with the nanite technology and everything else. It blows my mind on just the sheer, you know, just the auto generation of terrain and things like that. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. So
so
that's
hobby
cool.
hands. No need to talk dirty. Kathleen Kennedy will not have any involvement with episode 2. Let's not go down the path of just being downright nasty.
You lost your voice there, buddy. You lost your deep voice. Did you get squeezed in the wrong places?
Kathleen Kennedy, my God. So the question I ask everyone here: what's the best trilogy in Star Wars? And tread carefully with this answer.
Star Wars trilogy, the original, for me. I mean, I watched it, each one of them probably 100 times. I had the old, I don't know if you guys had the old disc player. You remember the disc player?
Laser disc player?
Well, it wasn't laser disc, but it was the big thin. I mean, they were that thin and they were about that big, and you put it in there and take it out, and then halfway through the movie, you had to put it in and flip it.
Laser disc player.
Was that? Well, okay, yeah.
Laser disc.
Okay.
Trust me. I'm old enough to remember. It was a laser disc.
So yeah, original for me for sure.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing.
All right, you guys get to live a little longer. That's fine. That works.
All right.
It's a trap. It's a trap, guys. You should know that if you watched her show. It's always a trap.
Blitzkin got it right there. Don't do it. It's a trap.
Yep.
Now,
if you watch the show,
you guys are around our same age. So when you were growing up, I assume, Saturday morning cartoons was still a thing. And so what did you guys do Saturday morning? I mean, we used to veg you out until like noon before you got kicked out of the house and you had to disappear for the rest of the weekend. But like Saturday mornings, what was your shows back then?
Yeah, so we were up, man, what time did the cartoons start? They ran from about 7 to 10:30 or 11 maybe.
Right.
I always Bugs Bunny was my go-to, the Looney Tunes. But then also after school, I'd watch Transformers and all that kind of stuff. But really just anything was on. I talked to my kids at school, like, you guys have no idea that everything back then is so much better than everything now.
Thank you.
They missed out, and now they can have anything they want at any time. Yeah. So nothing has any meaning, nothing is meaningful. So to get up and just have that one, that 2-hour slot per week to get up and watch cartoons
I watched whatever was on.
Yeah. It didn't matter what was on. We just loved it.
But that's
your
the
parents
big
were
thing
still
too.
sleeping in.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that was the thing. You got up, you watched the show. If you missed it, you missed it. You had to wait X amount of weeks for it to be repeated, and that was it.
Yep.
Now they can watch it on their phone. They can watch it in 5 different ways. They can watch, and my son watched one show. I was gonna blow my brains out because it was like SpongeBob, same episode, the best day ever. He's singing the best day ever, and he played 600 times. I was like, I can't take it anymore. And then I found this, and it freed me from my mind.
Nice.
So what kind of cereal did you guys eat with those cartoons? Like, everybody that's been on this show has that one cereal that they remember eating that was so bad for them, so much sugar and chemicals or whatever, that you
I wasn't allowed to get the Count Dracula, all the stuff.
Chocula.
Yeah, I couldn't get that. My
Me
parents
neither.
wouldn't let me get it.
Me
I had to eat Kicks.
The sawdust cereal. That's what I called
pretty
it.
much.
What about you, Chris?
Any commercial that says mom likes Kicks for what Kicks has got, and then I like Kicks for what Kicks. That's right there. The kid you don't want it. Just that's right there.
Yeah. If
It's
mom
too
wants
healthy.
me to have it, I don't want it.
If it's too healthy, forget it. What about you, Chris? What did you? What was your go-to cereal?
Yeah, whichever one had the coolest prize inside.
They don't even do
terrified.
that anymore. You can't even get
Yeah.
prizes anymore.
Because
I
the
know.
kids nowadays eat the damn things and choke themselves. That's the problem.
Well, yeah. So they don't even
Can
have
I
cool
eat this
prizes.
little car? Well,
Yeah. It used to be they were in the cereal itself, like in the bag. So you had to like get through there down there at the bottom with your
Get
hand.
your cooties all over the cereal on the way in.
Yeah. Of course, in secret, early in the morning before mom got up. And then they got lazy. Then they put it between the box and the bag, so you could just reach down on the side. Well, that was cheating, and now they don't have toys anymore. So yeah, whatever I had to dig through to get that decoder.
Yeah, you had to get there's the whistle that had the same tone as a payphone or something like that.
Yeah,
the same frequency or whatever.
Yeah.
I used to remember they'd have like little submarines. You put baking soda in, you put it in the water, and the submarine would go down, and it would come back up and go back down. We were very easily entertained back then. I mean, that was it,
right?
Oh yeah, or the sticky octopus that you throw against the fridge and it slowly crawls down, and then you just
your
do
sister.
it again.
Whack.
All day, yeah. Put it in her hair.
Well, that's cool. That's the cereal is always the big part because you literally would drop half of it on the way to the TV, set up a table with the bowl, and there'd be crap all over the floor, and then you'd get all settled in front of the TV, and then the dog or the cat would eat all the cereal on the ground, and yeah, that's basically all it was, So what about movies? Like we like to talk about the different things, like maybe some toys later, but the movies, like what were the movies? And please don't say Goonies and Star Wars and the typical stuff. I'm talking about the bottom of the barrel that you went, yeah, that's cheesy and I loved it kind of thing. That's the ones we look at. And you can say Goonies too if you really want, but
Well, I won't say Goonies, even though. So, quick story. I love Goonies. I got to say it, and I related to all of them, but especially Data the invention. So I'd make my little inventions. I remember making this Goonie gun. I made this Goonie gun, and I took it and I showed my friends, and they all just laughed at me. And I got so upset, and I went home and I threw it away. And then years later, I was kind of bummed because I threw away my Goonie gun. Well, my mom had gotten the trash and kept it. She kept my Goonie gun, and I still have it today. So,
are you kidding? Wow.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So
that's
thanks,
awesome.
Mama. Yeah.
Can we see it? Or you're too embarrassed to show it? Or does it look awesome?
Flashbacks. I don't want you to laugh at me.
Okay. All right. What about you, Renzo?
I don't know. Like I like watching anything with Arnold Schwarzenegger from the 80s.
Raw Deal.
Yeah, I mean it's all good, man. Rambo, First Blood, any of the Rambos. Like I like those.
You like the newer Rambos?
Yeah, they're okay.
Did you watch
He's
them?
got that geriatric chair when he's chasing you. He's going, I'm gonna get you.
I watch them. I don't think they're as cool as the old ones, but. Yeah.
But Chris, I let you go a little too. Okay, you said Goonies, but what were the movies that you went? Okay, like this is the one there that if I were on a shooting range and they said you can watch one movie before you die, what would it be?
Yeah, so my all-time favorite is Field of Dreams, but that's kind of
the baseball movie.
Yeah. So, but other than that, the 3 Gs from I think '84, Goonies, Gremlins, and Ghostbusters. Those are my go-tos. So.
Those are good picks. Field of Dreams not bad. It's not great in my opinion, but hey, whatever. I'm not a baseball guy, but
but the toughest of tough, General Glenn. Even if when he watches the end of that and he says, "Dad, you want to have a catch? If you don't get choked up, there's something wrong with you, man." So
I have to do the choking. It's just the choking part.
That's cool. So, what about other stuff from the child? Like we talk about the toys. I'm not talking about the plus 18 toys. I'm talking about little children toys. Okay, and basically what were the ones that you know what I mean? That you're on eBay nowadays and looking for that thing. For me, it was those little stomper trucks. They're like little they're like little stompers. And you go on eBay, they're like $100 for one stomper, and they were like $5 back in the day. What were those toys for you guys that really, you know what I mean? That really looked like your mom kept them because you adored them so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I still have my He-Man and all my Transformers. You can see a couple of them. Prime's up there, and
those Transformers are worth a few pennies.
Generation 1 Transformers is where it's at. Generation
G1.
one.
That's what. Yeah, that's what I've got here. I don't know if you can see more of them, but I've got them up and around, up and about. He-Man and Transformers were my go-to, and I still have them all. So
Probably Ninja Turtles.
Nice.
I did like Transformers though. Like I'd bring them into show and tell, and I was banned eventually.
Hasbro really likes you. It's all their stuff.
I know.
They reeled you in. Don't say GI Joe because that's another one of their things.
I
made
had
money.
a lot of those as well.
IG Joes. Like,
Oh yeah.
Do you remember the little muscle men? I've got those around here too.
Not the Stretch Armstrongs.
Let me grab. Here's one. The little muscle men. They came in packs of like 10 or 20, and they were all just these weird creatures and stuff. And they had the same smell. They still have the same smell.
Called toxic plastic.
Toxic plastic.
It is, yeah. That's what happened.
Chris
to me,
was
man.
such a nice guy. We find out he's got a tumor 6 months later or whatever.
Take a whiff, man. No, it was, those are. I had tons of those too. Muscle Men and the wrestlers. Like the actual wrestler figures.
Now, do you guys come from a big family, a lot of brothers and sisters?
Just me and my brother. Like, yeah, we would play, have fun, beat each other up, and start over the next day. Yep.
Yeah, I just had a brother.
Oh, were you the oldest or the youngest? Because I'm trying to think who was getting their ass handed to them.
I was the oldest.
You were the oldest? How about you, Chris?
Oldest. So, I got blamed for everything, and I would.
Or one of those.
Yeah.
Ah, Mama, he hit me. I didn't touch him.
Right,
One of those type
exactly.
of deals.
Yep, exactly. No, he was just mean. He was big. He was a big dude too. I'd flick his hat and he'd hit me 10 times harder, break my arm or whatever. So, yeah, that was our.
I feel your pain. I'm the oldest of. I have a younger brother. I feel you guys.
Yeah.
I feel you guys. Well, that's cool. That's really awesome. So, I mean, we're really excited, to be honest with you, to check out this game because we're all gamers here, really, in the end. Like, if I think maybe there's one or two people in this chat that don't play games, and shame on you guys for not playing games. But in the end, I think I'm looking forward to checking it out. So
Awesome.
we'll see. My PC should be able to run it.
Now,
So-
just a question from me because I want to know which character to have there. When you release it on Steam and like on the iiRcade, will they be this exact same, or there's going to be some differences because, like I said, I heard you say you customize some things for iiRcade and stuff. So will the Steam version going to be different than that?
Yes. Yeah,
Yep.
it's like the graphics are maximized basically because it's for PCs with graphical processor units and everything.
So my Celeron with my GeForce 2 will look really awesome.
You said GeForce 2?
GeForce.
I don't know.
You don't need a 4090 to play your game, right?
No.
NVIDIA, right? What's
I
the
test-
minimum PC requirements?
It'll run on your TI 99. So if you still have.
I do.
so,
I got 3 of them.
Glenn does. Yeah.
So it's not super high on processor, but on GPU, you can scale it back a little bit. And we've been testing a lot on like 1060. Was it the 1660? Like I tested on 1660. I used
That's about the 1050-ish GPU.
yeah, it's
range,
a little bit
roughly.
better than 1050. I still got to go into my garage and brush off an old desktop that I've got a 670. I want to see if it's
If it
running
runs.
okay on that. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I think it'll be fine though.
I have one question that I almost forgot to ask. Is this a single player experience or is it a co-op? Is
Good
it
question.
MMO
Both.
or is it whatever? Like
Yeah.
meaning is it couch co-op? That kind of
Yeah,
thing?
yeah, it's couch
where-
co-op. You can play at 1 player or you can play 2 player.
on the same box, not
Yep,
remotely over a
on the
network.
same box.
Okay,
yeah,
so you
local.
can't play over Steam with somebody else or whatever. Network play.
Keep it a secret, but we are working on the multiplayer. In fact, I prototyped it last year, but it's not being released with this version because it's
Yeah.
got
Oh,
a lot
gotcha.
more.
Okay, well, that's good. At least
Work-
you play
yeah.
with friends, you know.
Working
Yeah,
on
yeah, you-
multiplayer, and the way he set it up with split screen is really awesome. He worked a long time on this just to tweak it and get it just perfect. So, there's a lot of different ways that games, once you get too far apart, they do different things so that you can still, so that you can be apart, but the screen splits. And he just Renzo, like, I got to brag on you for a second, man, because like he perfected it. The way the cameras pull out and then it actually does split. It doesn't jolt you like on some of the, what was it, like the old Star Wars, Lego Star Wars, some of those games like that. Like once you get too far apart, then the screen just it
Does
jumps,
weird stuff.
and then
Yeah, I remember.
you have to figure out where you actually are and stuff. It's so smooth what he did.
That's important because you don't want to get that gameplay experience to.
Yeah, I have to
escape
admit,
itself.
when I was testing it, I actually hit a 2-player game once, and one character was sitting there. And I did the whole thing, and I see what you're talking about. It kind of zoomed out, but you could always go back and get your character and bring him back. So,
Yep.
when you get to a certain point of the game, and you can't defeat me, you need your friend because you're a wuss. Go back and get him.
Yep, exactly. Yep. And once they come back together, it's just as smooth as when they split. So once you get to some checkpoints, like the person that's behind will jump ahead. And I always appreciated that, like on co-op on Halo. If you get too far apart, but you get to a checkpoint, it jumps you ahead. And again, it's really smooth too. So
real
awesome.
quick here, BA. So this is not a burning crystal. This here is a time crystal. And this is why I am going to ruin all of your days in 12 days. This little guy right here showing me the light. And you guys are going to see lights turning out. Because you will never be able to defeat me in heavy metal Titans.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
You got to put 4-player, and then we'll take out Glenn.
There we go.
It would be kind of cool to see, the online play eventually at times, because as you know, in today's world, no one goes out anywhere. They all play at home, and you can't get your friends to come out. I mean, I invite, I don't have any friends, but if I did, I'd invite them over, but they don't want to come over because look at my place. It's kind of dusty. It's, electricity hardly works here.
So Steam has a direct play. Is that what it's called, Chris?
Yeah.
Direct play.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So that kind of simulates the multiplayer. It turns like a local multiplayer into a multiplayer. So they basically stream the screen to like your buddy, and his controller will connect in as like player 2.
Well, I have one request to leave you guys with, and is if you guys go cross-platform, is to be able to play with the people on an Xbox or a Switch on the PC or whatever, cross-play. Because a lot of companies, they're kind of still deciding that stuff, but in the end, I think it's important that's just my suggestion, is to say, hey, look, my buddy's on a PlayStation and I'm on a PC. I still want to play the game with him,
Yeah, we're
And I
using
think
Epic Online Services, and like for instance, I tested the game on a computer, and I think Chris was on iiRcade. This is like a long time ago, but like we're using that. So
that's great. If that
cross-play.
works, that's great. That's awesome.
So cross-platform, multiplayer, so kind of like deathmatch. We've got a lot of work in that already, and and then he's been kind of tooling around with kind of a different game mode as well, with like I don't know, kind of like a 2D Duke Nukem. Like remember the 2D Duke Nukem, and we have to find key cards and stuff like that. So kind of just packing
procedural level generation.
Yeah.
So basically, the levels are never the same. Just another
that's
mode,
cool.
Yeah.
They get bored.
Cool. That's cool. That's awesome. That's
packing
awesome.
Packing as much into the game as we can. And again, the release on the 15th, the Steam page is up. So you can go in there and you can watch the trailer and see some screenshots, and you can click wish list and they'll notify you when it pops up. But June 15th is when General Glenn will be coming at us, and we'll be coming back at him just as hard. So watch out, man.
You could try. Now, right now, is your programming of choice the Unreal Engine? Is that likely going to focus your gaming talents on?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I've been using it for so long. Like switching to a new tool would be like, I don't know, We've dabbled with the idea of switching engines for specific types of games, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just so used to Unreal. It'd be Unreal to switch. So.
That would be unreal.
That actually,
No,
I'm
it's a
surprised.
good.
I'm surprised. I'm sorry, I didn't ask this question before. So you're programming this game in Unreal, but what have you programmed before? I mean, this is your first like big game. It's being released on Steam and the other platforms. But what have you programmed previously?
Or did you work for game companies before? You know what I mean? Like,
Or to work at
with
Taco Bell programming the cash registers? I mean, what did you do?
So you may not know it, but I've been in the Army for 20 years. And on one of my latest deployments, well, actually, this was like about 6 years ago, I swapped my degree from like a, what do you call it, information systems security to game development, basically. And that kind of gave me the swift kick in the butt to get started. And they use Unreal Engine and all their core stuff. And I took it from there, basically, you know, from the curriculum. I just kept going with it and doing my own thing. And I've got all kinds of crazy games I've worked on. They're all half sort of done, not really sort of, but lots of experience. And then in the Army, I'm also a software engineer. So I've been doing that for about 2.5 years.
So
different
first of all,
languages and
thank you
stuff,
for all your service in the military. It's not going to help you in the game, but appreciate your service. That's for sure.
No
what about you,
worries.
Chris?
Yeah, so I'm a teacher. I have been for quite a while, and just dabble in fun stuff, you know, like all of us do. And then kind of, you know, once we met each other and started this project, it's just kind of taken off, and this whole brand new awesome journey is kind of laid out in front of us. So super excited for what we've done and to see what's coming. So
Cool. Well, this guy, that's supposed to be Glenn's alter ego or whatever. But anyways, I think we wish you a pile of luck with your game release and everything else. We're getting close to the end of the show, but we wish you all the best, to be honest with you, because I know that this sort of thing, it's not always successful.
I'm sure it hasn't
but
been
you put
easy.
your heart and
Not
soul
even
into
that.
it, you know.
I'm sure it hasn't been just an easy road. I mean, you know,
Well, yeah,
when you
family
start
and
these
everything
things
too,
out,
right?
you have in your head how things are going to go, and you don't realize all these other things that need to happen to make it happen. I mean, I'm just guessing, even just like licensing and working stuff with Steam or iiRcade. I mean, I assume all that stuff was I don't want to say a headache, but I'm sure the stuff you guys didn't really think
A
would
new
have been so
adventure, we'll
difficult.
call it. A new
Yeah.
adventure.
So we brought a grown up on board, Mark Okniansky. You may have seen him in the I think he's in the chat actually right now, and in the community. So we brought him on board. He's kind of our legal guy, our grown up that makes sure that we don't do anything stupid, but also protects all of our creations, the assets, and all that kind of stuff. And he just helps us make good decisions. He's also a really good tester. Which is what, you know, how it started with him, with us. And so we thought, this is a really good dude. And like, he knows his stuff, and he knows he's part of the legal field. So we're actually an army of 3, and we're super excited to have him on board, and he's doing some amazing things for us. And again, keeping us in line and
cracking that whip, huh?
Yeah. Helping us make grown-up decisions, because it's not always just fun, you know, fun stuff. So
it actually turns out it's the passion that keeps it going. It's actually a lot of hard work, but it's that passion. And then you're at that finish line now. So you're going to start to salivate on when it gets released. People start playing and enjoying the game. Well, I would say enjoying the game, surviving really, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I want to have you guys on again, perhaps after it gets released as well.
Yeah, post-launch for sure, yeah.
But how about some final thoughts? If anything you want to say before we end the show? And I'm gonna, just so people joining late, I'm gonna show you the trailer to the game again at the end of the show. But I want to give these guys an opportunity to say their final words, because soon it will be their final words.
It sounds so doomed.
Go ahead, Renzo.
Well, I had a heck of a time building the game. I just love doing that stuff, you know. Yeah, there could be 3 people that love it, and I'd be fine with that. You know, it's just the process. I love the process. That's all.
Cool.
Yeah, it's been an awesome journey. You know, I'm thankful that I met Renzo and we were able to start this journey together, and we brought Mark on board, and I'm just glad to see so many community members involved. We appreciate Glenn. There's been so many times where, we messaged Glenn, hey, can you like do this audio? We changed this up. Would you mind saying this? And he's like, yeah, of course. So we appreciate you guys, having us on tonight and kind of getting the word out. And like Renzo said, if we just have one person that enjoys playing the game, if I can see one picture of somebody playing the game and smiling, then, all that work was worth it. So June 15th, Philip drop. Steam pages.
Hopefully, again, subscribers, all go check it out. Go check it out, guys.
Thank you.
These guys worked hard.
I'll put a link down below in the comments field. But I'm going to show you guys. First of all, Renzo and Chris, thanks for being here. You have 12 days left, so make sure you get everything in order.
Good luck.
Because you guys are going to be wiped off the planet. Let's take a look at the gameplay of Heavy. Wait, I'm doing it wrong again. My goodness. Hold on.
Heavy Metal Titans.
Nice.
Woke up this morning, something just wasn't right. You know that feeling you get in your gut? Makes you wonder if you're gonna see tomorrow? Yeah, they're coming for us. That ain't nothing new. What are we gonna do about it? We're about to light up those critters.
Take this, man. You're gonna need it.
Bring it to boom boom!
The Slayer's always ready.
That Phoenix is literally on fire! The Slayer's in trouble! Fight on, Prentice!
Yeehaw!
Where's Shotgun Sean when you need him?
When I graduate kindergarten, I'ma quit eating my boogers. Here, my uncle says Magic Juicy gives you an extra special attack. Magic Juicy makes me fart like my nana.
The vampire's about to get dusted! Come on, Colin!
War Horse! Welcome to the slaughter! Rain down fire!
Grenades go kaboom!
Heavy Metal Titans!
Yep, it's gonna be a good day.
Oh, by the way, you're about to die. Burn him down, Smokey. It was a day like any other. In fact, the day itself was beautiful. One of the nicest days I could remember. Blue and I were just going about our business, trying to enjoy the day, a fresh start. One of those days where you just go outside and go, something's going to be different. Something's going to be better. But no man ever knows his true destiny. No man ever knows how things can change in an instant. And on this day, I was going to be changed forever. Destiny had a plan for me. What is that? What is this? It feels almost alive. Game on. Sit, Blue Blue, sit.